how can dog owners identify signs that their dogs are becoming aggressive? What are some of the signs that
Okay,
they will notice?
okay. Thank you so much once again. This is a very also important question that you need to always have at the back of your mind if you are having a dog at home, whether it's a small breed, because I've handled toy dogs which are very aggressive, have owners and they have to go for stitches severally, and I have to rehabilitate them. And so it's very important to know some of the signs that are exhibited by the dog so that you'll be able to take precautions to avert them or to change the minds of the dog not to go to where it's supposed to go. In fact, first of all, we need to look at the body language of the dog. And when we talk of body language of the dog, there are certain things that you can see it in the dog that will obviously tells you that this dog is becoming aggressive. One, direct stare. Direct stare. The dog will look at you, look into your face in a more direct way. When you see a dog that is putting up this look onto your face, start having a mind that this dog is a potential aggressive dog.
Wow.
And it is not just once. If this repeats itself severally, you have to study the dog well, and then that will lead us to when you see that, what next do you do? So one of the things that I've noticed in the body language is direct stare. Another
Okay.
has to do with growling. Growling. The dog will growl, and when the dog growl, it's not a play growl. It's a growl that's actually give you a warning, especially when maybe you are approaching it or you are approaching something that he thinks it's frightening, or you are taking over from him. The dog begin to growl, and sometimes they snare. You know, when they snare, they open their their teeth up, and the lips is their lips is raised up, and they show you their teeth.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
the snare, that is snaring. They just show you that, hey, Charlie, don't get close here because me, I, I, I know what I'm talking about. Don't get closer. Another thing has to do with the haggles, the back hair. When they raise their back hair
Oh.
to that level, it can come into excitement, it can come to fear, and it can come to what? Threats when the back hair is raised. So more often when you approach the dog in a harsh way and the dog quickly raise the hair, be careful. Start having that to know that these are some of the signs that can lead your dog to an aggressive state. So
Wow.
that is talking about the the body language the dog exhibits to you. Okay. You can also look at another aspect of behavioral changes. Okay. The dog become very alert. He used not to be that so alert, but now any slightest thing he tends to look at. He tends to look at. You should be cautious about it. That why is my dog these days putting up? He used not to be that alert, but any
Yeah.
slightest trigger in the environment, he responds to it. So increased in alertness is a sign that your dog can be a potential aggressive dog. Now, another thing has to do with resource guarding behavior. Okay, that is a change in behavior. When there's a change in behavior, which is a resource, one of the things that happens is resource guarding behavior, where the dog
Okay.
begin to resource guard. I mean, guard certain resources, which could be
Okay.
food, which could be toy, which could be even a space that he thinks belongs to him. And I will come to the resource guard as a topic of its own. But these are some of the things that you can look at when there's a change in behavior in your dog. Now, aside the resource guarding behavior, that is a changing. There's another context I talk, contextual changes. That's a context to which the dog finds itself at that moment. The environment can trigger the dog's aggression. The environment itself is a context. What is the environment? When we talk of environment in the dog's aspect, we're not talking of just the land that is lying there. We are talking of the human being who is an environment. The sound, the loud sound is an environment. Whatever that is found around that can trigger a dog to respond to is an environment. It's an environment. So that environment can trigger the dog to become aggressive. Another aspect has to do with medical issues. The dog go through pains and discomfort and other medical conditions. So through this, the vet goes in to give him injections, and there's a study that I'm really coming out with, and I've noticed that some of the dogs that really attacks their owners or their or children, they've had some spots in their bodies to which the veterinary doctors always hold to give injection. Especially when they just came out from their treatment periods, and they've been holding that place and giving fiery injection, and because they are on muzzle, they are not able to protest. Now they associate that part of you holding that body to pains. So that's where classical conditioning come to play here. That's when you are touching that part of his body, we are coming to give you an injection. So the best he can do is to fight you back. Right? Which is very, very, very key here. Now, in this coming, that's the context aspect of it. So looking at and the last I can talk about is the lack of socialization. If the dog has not gone through the proper socialization procedures or methods, believe me, that dog will not learn to know how to play with children. And by socialization, I mean introducing your dog to every situation, to every environment, to every context that the not for him to grow finished before you now hold him to go and stand by the roadside for him to get to know cars. You have to start as a puppy. You want him to play with kids, you have to start as a puppy. How the kids should hold. In fact, kids and dogs are like rice and stew. They go together very nice. However, when there is no proper supervision, their interaction is disrupted. And when there's disruption in their interaction, imagine what happened. The child doesn't know how to hold the dog. He hold the ear and pull so hard. And he's a living being. God has given that mind that if you are in danger, you can protect yourself by using your teeth to fight back. Yeah. So if he's in pains through the pulling of the child, what does he do? What do you think the dog should do?
Yeah,
he bite. So these are some of the signs. So looking at the body language, looking at the behavioral changes, as I mentioned earlier, looking at the context of the environment, these are signs that when they exhibit themselves, you see it clearly in your dog that my dog is likely to be a very aggressive dog in the near future. Then what do you do? That leads us to what do you do when you see the dog going through all this? And what do you do as the owner? Some of them get angry and punish the dog. That can escalate the whole aggressive behavior in the dog. I know a client who actually would get angry and go and bring a stick and hit the dog. And this is the human psychology that the person is using here. But in dogs, dog psychology is totally different from the human psychology.
Yeah.
And the concept I always apply here is when you are going out to work and your child does something wrong, and your dog also does something wrong, and you shoot the two of them, and you go to work. When you come back, the dog forgets all that you did. The dog will still come and welcome you. Your child will remember that, hey, daddy was good. You'll still be finding the face on you.
Very
So
true.
don't use human psychology to relate to the dog and expect the dog to understand what you mean by what you are doing. You
Wow.
understand? And that is
Yeah.
why sometimes the dog will do something wrong, and somebody will tell you, you have to take the dog to the place and lash him and let him see that what he has done is not good. Please, the dog believe in the present. They don't believe in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He did it. It's different from his doing it.
Yeah.
He has done it and he has and so many activities have come to his way, and he's still processing those activities. The one he did first, he has processed it and it's gone. So he's no more thinking of that one. So if you bring your dog back to what he did long time ago and now show him that one, he look at you like you are a stupid man. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know what you are talking about. What you are doing, I don't get you, because it's past.
Yeah.
He can't remember what you are trying to do.
Yeah.
So that is why we say we don't apply human psychology to the dog psychology. It's totally different from each other. You get the concept?